Hello, maurieo! AutoCAD Basic 2.1 Basic Drawing and Editing. Hello, welcome. Well, in this video, we're going to be looking at the practice exercise for Chapter 2, and it's about basic drawing and editing. Well, let's get on with it. So here we are, and I swap now over to my my big screen. That's why sometimes I disappear. So I lean too far over to look at my screen. So I've positioned myself at this part of the screen so it looks like that I'm looking up to what I'm doing, whereas on the other side I'm looking far away. So it's quite difficult to be keeping straight down the barrel of the webcam and doing AutoCAD at the same time. So anyway, here we are. So we're on practice number 2, and first task is to draw lines with a dynamic input. So we've got some lines there to draw. So I'm just going to move the little book. So it's asking us to open a file, just a blank file, and it's called Object M, which is there, and that opens up like so, and that just opens up as a file. And it says if the grid lines are displayed, click them off. So they just toggle on and off. So they're on because they're blue, and we tick them off like that. And so that's step 1. And in the status bar, check that dynamic input is on. So this is dynamic input here, and it is on. However, in an earlier, when I first I had to have an earlier trial at this, and I had to abandon it midway through because basically things didn't go quite according to plan. But when I first turned this on, I found that I couldn't find dynamic input along here. Now, if you click on this customization here, you can see that you can turn various things on and off. And when I looked over here, dynamic input was not turned on. So once I turned it on, then we were fine. So there are some things that are turned off here. I might just turn that selection filtering on as well. That might come into play a bit later on. And yeah, so there's all sorts of ones there that can be turned on. So just be careful with that. If you're looking for something along here, you may need to go to customization and turn it on. So we're all good to go. There. This command line here seems a bit small to me. I'm going to make my command line a bit bigger. I like a bigger command line. So I've just made that a little bit bigger because I noticed earlier that things weren't quite how I was used to them. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is go up here and draw a line. So we can just click up there to draw a line, or we can just type L for line. Now they ask us to specify the first point, and it is 120, 120. And yeah, we've got that nailed. And so that's just anchored it at that point. Now the next thing is to, at the dynamic input, specify the first point, which I've done. Now move the crosshairs up and to the right, and you can see I've got it there, and it says right, type 250 for the distance, 250, and then go tab, okay, and push the tab button, and then 45, enter. And that should create a line that's at that length. Now, next step is to move the crosshairs up and to the right. We've done that. Step 6, move the crosshairs above the last point and type in 100. So I've just got that going up. I've got that little green line there that tells me that it's spot on. So I'm just going to type 100. like so, and that there, and then out here again 150, and then down here got the green line 100, and then out here now this here 250 at 45, so we go 250 tab 45 like that there. And now with the dynamic input on, that becomes relative, so the 45 becomes a relative angle rather than an absolute angle. And then for the last segment across the bottom, press the down arrow, which is here, and then just type close, and that closes that segment out. Now what I want to do is just go a little bit further here and just have a little, because that's the end of that exercise, and then we're going to go to erasing objects. But I just want to go a little bit further. Now if we click on here, okay, we can see here in the properties, which is turned on, that we've got a line. We can see that it starts at 120 and 0 there, and we can see that its length is 250 and it's at an angle of 45 degrees. Now that's an absolute angle, so this would be 0 and that would be 45 I'm picking. So let's go to this line here. Now you can see if we click on there, it's just selecting that singly. I'll just go back to here. If we clicked this here, that one, and it had the plus sign, when we click there, it would add it. So what we do is we click that there, and that then when we click, it just selects can only select one thing at a time. So here we can see we've got 100 length and 90 degrees. So that 90 degrees is going to be around there. Okay, let's look at the next one. And this one here is 150 and the angle is 0. So we're using the mathematics angle thing, 0, and we're going anti-clockwise. So 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. So I'm going to predict that this next one here will be 100, I think, is the length, and I'm going to predict that that's at 270. So there you go, 100 at 270, and I'm going to pick that this one here is 250 at 315. There we go there, 250. So because 0's here and the 315's coming all the way around here, or 45 down there. And then finally this one here, of course, will be, I don't know what the distance will be, 503, and that'll be at 180. So yeah, a little bit of the situation there. Alrighty, so let's move on to task 2, erasing objects. And in the Home tab, Modify panel, click the thing there. So that's the Modify panel there, Home tab, and we just click this little rubber on the end of the pencil there. Yeah, rubber on the end of the pencil. You'll notice, okay, and then I've got a little, it's not the normal crosshair, and it says select objects. So select several lines which turn light grey. So I can select that one there and that one there. But just note here that it's not, because I've got this turned on, it's only allowing me to select one system at a time. Now this, I refer to this as the pick add, and you can see it's saying pick add there. So let's just turn that to multiple, and now we can select many things there like that. So they're saying turn light grey, indicating they are selected for erasing, and then you just push enter and that will erase them. Without being in a command, select any of the remaining lines. So we're not in a command because we're back to the normal crosshair there, a normal crosshair. We're not in a command. When we clicked here in a command, and you can see we've got that select objects. Now you can either push enter or spacebar, takes you out of the command and back to normal. So now we can select that and that, and what we're saying that we can do there is yeah, they're highlighted with the grips, which are these here, and we can just push the delete button on our thing, and there we are, we've got that all done. Now use polar tracking. Okay, so in this task we'll use the line command with polar tracking to draw a precise object as shown down here. So in the status bar, toggle on polar tracking, and now it's already on, so polar tracking is on. You can also turn it on and off by just pushing the F10 key if you've got a Windows type keyboard. So F10, and you'll see it toggle on and off, this here where the cursor is. Push F10 on and off. So it tells you about the F10 there when it's over the top of it, but we've definitely got polar tracking on. Okay, start the line command. Now you can click up there for the line command and click that there, or you can just push L for line. Just go L and you can see how it goes, line. Okay, so the line command, and specify 0, 0 is where we want to start. So 0, comma 0, enter, and you can see that it goes right down there at the UCS, that XY, that little thing there, and that's right at 0, 0. That's the origin of the things. So now step 3, move the crosshair straight to the right from the start point, like that, and you might want to pan down to there, and then when tracking line displays with polar distance 0 as shown in the picture, type 750, and which is automatically overwrites the value in the edit box, and then push enter. Okay, so that's given us a 750 line there. Move the crosshair straight up from the new point when the tracking line is 0. Okay, and type in 500 and press enter. 500, enter. Very good. Okay, now continue to draw the shape in the figure 2.19. Okay, so we've got 500, and I'm having a little bit of trouble with the reading that there because I've got quite poor light here. I think that's 250, so I'm going to pop across there, 250, and then it pops down here, I think 120. Okay, and then across here at, I think that's 250. Yes, it is 250. And then up here again at 120. So this is using the polar tracking. 250 across here, like so. And for the last, type C and press enter. Now the C is for close, C, enter, and it'll put that in there. Now let's just check. Oh yes, that's angle 270 and 500, and that's drawn the shape in this toggle bar on. Oh yes, and we've drawn to continue to draw the shape, and then we've done that. Okay, so that's very good. Alrighty. Okay, so now task 4. In this task, you'll draw rectangles and locate them precisely using coordinates and dynamic input as shown in here. Okay, so let's we might have to have a little bit of toing and froing here. In the Home tab, draw plan, click rectangle. So this is rectangle here, I'm pretty sure. Rectangle, yes. Okay, so we've clicked the rectangle. For the first corner point, type the coordinates 50, 50, enter, and that anchors the rectangle at that point. For the other corner, type 150 to 80. So that's 150, I'm disappearing, 150, 280. Enter, and that should put that right in there. Press enter to create the rectangle, which it's done. And draw the second rectangle, first corner 450, 100. So you can just right click here and go repeat rectangle. So that's, or you can click the thing again, repeat rectangle if you want to. And so we're going to go 150 is where it's anchored, comma, okay, 150 to 80, comma, and press enter to, oh, sorry, no, what's this? In the Home tab, oh, we've done that. Where's the second? For the other corner, 150 to 80, to create, oh, what's happened there? For the, oh, I've lost me way here a little bit. Let's have a look. Draw the second rectangle for the fourth corner at 450, 100. Oh, okay. So let's escape out of there. Escape. We're back to there. So let's draw the second rectangle. So again, we can do repeat rectangle. And we actually wanted it, I got a little bit all over the show. Draw the second rectangle with the first corner point, 450, 100. 450, comma, 100. Enter, which is there. And then, and the dimension shown in the figure 2.21. So I'm just going to have to turn the page back there a little bit, unfortunately. And what's the dimension there? It's 120 by 200. So I'll try this. And so what we've got to do there is go D for dimensions, or yes, go D for dimensions, D, enter, and specify the length of the rectangle. I'm going to go with 200. All right, and the width for the rectangle, I'm going to go at 120. Now, I'm not quite sure. Oh, yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so it looks how we've got it. Yes, all right, so let's go back. So that's got the rectangle drawn. All right, and now draw a second rectangle like that, and then it says save the drawing. Okay, so we'll go, well, we could just click here and go save, but I'll just go file, save as, and it says save the drawing. So I'm assuming that it's going to save it as object M, and that will update it from what the original was. So I'm going to save that. And do you want to replace it? Yes. Okay. Oops. What happened to my rectangle? Oh, I'll try that rectangle again, obviously. So, right click, recent input. We can go rectangle. And it was 450, 100. 450, 100. Enter. And then it was, what was it? 120 height by 200. Right, so 120. Oh no, yeah, comma 200. Is that what it was supposed to look like? No, it wasn't. So I must have got those around the wrong way. So Control Z will undo those, and we'll try the rectangle. Recent input, try the rectangle again, and yes, sometimes it takes a little bit of a while. So 450, 100. So we wanted at 450, 100. I'll be getting good at this because I've repeated it so many times. Okay, now right, we want the yeah, specify the corner point, which I thought we've done, or oh yes, we could go D for dimensions. Okay, and the length of the rectangle is 200. Okay, and the width of the rectangle is 120. You could see there how it's repeated the ones from last time. And then okay, and then we push enter. Okay, like that. We've got to keep going with that one just to give it a second click to show that's where we want it. Let's just have a look at that. Yeah, 450, 100, and then 240. 450. Yeah. 100 plus 4, that would be, okay, and it doesn't really tell us where the other vertex is, but that looks pretty much like the diagram how we want it. So let's move on to task 5. And then save the drawing. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and it's Object M, Save. Yes. Okay, so this time I've saved it how I think it should look. All right, now in this task you draw circles using center, diameter, tan, radius, and tan options as shown in below. So in the Home tab, Draw panel, circle. Okay, so the circle's up here, and circle. Click and center diameter. So we can click here and center diameter is the one we want. So that's a center diameter. Okay, and it tells us here to create the circle, type in 625405, is it? 625, comma 405. Enter. And that should put the center for the circle, and that's that one up in there, and 100 for the diameter. So it's looking for the diameter, 100. Okay, and that's that one there. Draw a circle inside a rectangle on the right side. Start the circle command with the tan radius option. So that's in here, and tan radius. Okay, option, and then select the two lines at the top and left as the tangent points. The two lines at the top and left. specify point on an object. Okay, the top one, so that's the top one, and that's the left one. Okay, and accept the default radius of 50. Yeah, it is 50 too. Okay, and that puts, oh, okay, hang on, if I put those in the wrong, to draw the circle inside the rectangle on the right side. Oh, that's the left side. So just Control Z undoes that, and it's actually, and then we go, oh, repeat a recent input. No, it doesn't want to do that. Circle. It should be on tan radius. So top and left and 50. Yeah, that's better. So I've got that right. Okay. Draw the circle touching the three sides of the rectangle shown in the left using the tan. Da 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 da. Okay, here we go. Tan. And it says specify the first point. Okay, there, and there. And that would put a circle in there. Tan option. Save and close the drawing. So, file. And it looks pretty much like what's there, I think. I'm pretty happy with that. Save and close the drawing. Save as object M, pretty sure it was. Save. And part of me wants to give it a different name, but so that I can keep the original, but I'm just going to follow the instructions here. Yes, okay. And then close the drawing. File, close. And there we are, back to our thing there. So let's just finish up there. So there we go. Practice exercise for chapter 2. Not always straight sailing. Sometimes things we need to revisit and go back and undo and that. But as we get more and more practiced and do them, yeah, things just fall into place. So don't be too concerned if you know, things don't go. Just go back, undo, and just remember that yeah. So you've got these. You've also got undo. There's nothing to undo there at the moment, but Control Z is a good friend, and the escape button, always escape, usually brings you back to square one, so that your crosshair is, you know, out of commands and all ready to go. So let's leave it there. Cheers. See you.